Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you stand at the edge of a decision. Do you break or do you rise? That moment is not decided by fate, not by the world, but by you. You see, we all have something in common: fear, self doubt, sadness. These emotions, these weak feelings, whisper lies into our ears. They tell us we are not good enough, that we are incapable, that we should stop trying. But today, I want you to listen to a different voice, the voice of your own strength. How many times have you let your insecurities hold you back? How many times have you let pain define you? The truth is, life will not always be kind. It will throw storms at you, break your plans, and test your patience. But the real battle is not with life, it is with yourself. It is with those weak feelings that make you believe you are less than you truly are. So today I ask you, kill your weak feelings. Kill the fear that stops you from speaking up. Kill the doubt that keeps you from trying. Kill the sadness that makes you forget the blessings you already have. Do not let these emotions own you. You are stronger than your fear, bolder than your doubt, greater than your sadness. Fear is a liar. It sneaks into our minds when we least expect it, whispering doubts, feeding insecurities, and making us believe we are incapable. It does not knock on the door politely, it barges in uninvited, disguising itself as logic, as caution, as common sense. It tells you to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid risks, to not try because failure might be around the corner. And the worst part? We believe it. We listen to that voice and let it dictate our actions, our choices, our lives. Fear is the reason we hesitate before speaking up. It's the reason we hold back from chasing our dreams. It's the invisible chain that keeps us from taking the steps we know we must take. It does not scream, it whispers. It sounds reasonable. It makes us think we are just being careful, that we are just waiting for the right time, that maybe we are not ready yet. But when will we be ready? Fear will never tell us that, because fear does not want us to move forward. It thrives in hesitation, in delay, in self-doubt. There are so many moments in life when we let fear steal our opportunities. We avoid the challenge because we are afraid of failure. We hold back our ideas because we fear rejection. We choose the safe path not because it excites us, but because we are too scared of what lies ahead. But the truth is, fear is only as powerful as we allow it to be. It has no real substance, no real control, unless we surrender to it. Think about the times you were afraid of something. Public speaking, a difficult conversation, a big decision. The fear felt so real, so overwhelming. But the moment you faced it, the moment you pushed through, didn't you realize that fear was just an illusion? That the thing you were dreading was never as terrifying as you imagined? That the worst case scenario in your mind was only a trick played by fear itself? Fear wants you to believe that failure is the end. But failure is not the enemy. Fear is. Because failure teaches, it strengthens, it builds resilience. Fear, on the other hand, only paralyzes. It keeps you stuck in the same place, living the same life, wondering what could have been. If only you had been brave enough. Fear is a liar, and the moment you recognize that, you take back your power. You stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect version of yourself. You move forward despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the uncertainty. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that fear will not win. Self-doubt is the silent killer of dreams. It does not arrive with grand warnings or loud voices. Instead, it whispers, creeping into your thoughts so subtly that you mistake it for reality. It makes you question your abilities, your worth, your potential. It convinces you that you are not good enough, not talented enough, not ready yet. And slowly, without realizing it, you start holding yourself back. Not because you lack the ability, but because you believe you do. Every great idea that never turned into reality, every opportunity that was left unexplored, every dream that remained just a thought. It was self doubt that stood in the way, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being enough. They all stem from the same root, self doubt. And the problem is, once it takes hold, it grows. The more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes until one day you stop trying altogether. Not because you can't, but because you believe you can't. The worst part about self doubt is that it does not come from others, it comes from within. It is your own mind working against you, creating barriers that do not exist. You could be talented, capable, and hardworking, but if you do not believe in yourself, none of it matters. You will hesitate, you will second guess, and you will let opportunities slip through your fingers because you convinced yourself that you were not ready. Think about how many times you held back because you doubted yourself. How many times you had something to say but chose to stay silent. How many times you wanted to take a step forward but convinced yourself it wasn't the right time. That hesitation, that voice telling you to wait, to step back, it is not reality, it is self-doubt. And the truth is, it is lying to you. Nobody starts out as an expert. Nobody feels completely ready when they take the first step. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, not luck, not intelligence. It is belief. The belief that they are capable, that they can learn, that they can improve. They feel the same doubts, the same fears, but they do not let them win. You can have all the potential in the world, but if you do not trust yourself, you will never unlock it. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, for the perfect version of yourself, you will wait forever. Growth comes from action, and action only happens when you silence the doubts in your mind and take the step anyway. The world does not hold you back, your own mind does. You are more capable than you think, more powerful than you believe. The only thing standing between you and everything you dream of is the voice in your head that says, "What if I fail? But what if you don't? What if you succeed? What if you are already enough?" Pain is inevitable. No one goes through life without experiencing loss, disappointment, heartbreak, or failure. It is a part of the human experience, something that no amount of planning or preparation can completely avoid. Pain comes in many forms. Sometimes it is the sting of rejection, sometimes the weight of betrayal, sometimes the crushing burden of a dream that didn't work out. No matter how strong we are, no matter how much we try to protect ourselves, pain finds a way to reach us. But while pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice. There are people who have been through unmeasurable hardships, yet they continue to rise, to smile, to move forward. And then there are those who allow even the smallest setbacks to break them. The difference is not in the pain itself, but in the response to it. Pain tests us, but it also teaches us. It forces us to grow, to evolve, to find strength we never knew we had. Some of the greatest transformations happen in the darkest moments. It is in pain that we discover resilience, in struggle that we find courage, in adversity that we build character. Pain has a way of making us believe we are alone, that no one else understands what we are going through. But the truth is, everyone carries their own battles, their own scars, their own silent struggles. The difference is that some choose to keep walking despite the weight they carry. They do not let pain define them. They do not let suffering become their identity. There will always be things that hurt, moments that shake us, experiences that break our hearts. But what matters is what we do next. Do we let the pain stop us, or do we rise above it? Do we let it control us, or do we take control of how we respond? Pain is part of life, but suffering is not a requirement. It is a choice, and every day we get to decide whether we will let pain make us or break us. Your mindset shapes your reality. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the attitude you carry determine the direction of your life more than any external factor ever will. You can have all the talent, resources, and opportunities in the world, but if your mindset is filled with negativity, doubt, and limitation, none of it will matter. On the other hand, even if life throws challenges your way, even if you face obstacles and setbacks, the right mindset will help you push through, rise above, and turn struggles into strength. Everything begins in the mind. The way you perceive a situation is more powerful than the situation itself. Two people can go through the exact same experience, yet one may see it as a failure while the other sees it as a lesson. One may feel defeated while the other feels challenged to grow. It is never the situation that defines you, but the way you choose to interpret it. If you believe you are powerless, you will act powerless. If you believe you are capable, you will find a way. Your mind is the lens through which you see the world. And if that lens is clouded with fear, self doubt, and negativity, everything will seem impossible. People often wait for external change before they shift their mindset. They think, I will be confident when I succeed, or I will be happy when things get better. But the truth is, it works the other way around. Success follows confidence, not the other way around. Happiness is a choice before it becomes a condition. If you keep waiting for circumstances to change before you adjust your mindset, you will always be at the mercy of life. But if you take control of your thoughts, you take control of everything. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is not intelligence, luck, or background. It is mindset. Those who succeed believe in their ability to learn, to grow, to adapt. They do not see failures as the end, but as stepping stones. They do not see problems as roadblocks, but as opportunities to innovate and improve. Meanwhile, those who remain stuck are often trapped by their own limiting beliefs. They convince themselves they are not ready, not worthy, not good enough, and so they never take action, never take risks, never step beyond their comfort zones. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it to think positively, to focus on solutions rather than problems, to believe in possibilities rather than limitations, the stronger it becomes. The more you challenge negative thoughts, the weaker they get. But just like any muscle, it requires effort, consistency, and awareness. You must actively choose thoughts that empower rather than defeat you, that uplift rather than drag you down. The moment you realize that your thoughts shape your life, you stop waiting for change and start creating it. Everything you want begins with the way you think. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Life has a way of knocking people down when they least expect it. A dream shatters, an opportunity slips away, a failure stares you in the face, making you question everything. In those moments, it is easy to believe that everything is over, that you have lost, that there is no way forward. But the truth is, setbacks are not the end of the road, they are redirections. They are not meant to break you, but to build you, to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the journey ahead. The problem is that most people see setbacks as permanent. They convince themselves that one failure defines them, that one mistake means they are incapable, that one loss means they are not meant for success. But if you look at every great achiever in history, every person who has made an impact, you will see a pattern. None of them succeeded without setbacks. In fact, setbacks were the very things that propelled them forward. They did not let failure defeat them. They used it as fuel to push harder, to improve, to refine their skills, to come back stronger than before. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. It is the test that determines who truly wants it and who gives up at the first sign of difficulty. Every successful person has faced rejection, disappointment, and failure. The only difference is that they did not stop. They understood that setbacks are temporary, that they are not proof of inadequacy, but opportunities for growth. They refused to let failure define them, and that is what set them apart. When you face a setback, you have two choices. You can sit in self-pity, telling yourself that you are not good enough, that life is unfair, that you should just give up, or you can ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? What is this teaching me that I need to know for the future? Because setbacks are not punishments, they are lessons. They reveal weaknesses that need to be strengthened, skills that need to be developed, perspectives that need to shift. They prepare you for the next level, for the bigger opportunities that are ahead. Some of the greatest comebacks in life come from the lowest points. It is in the darkest moments that resilience is built, that determination is tested, that character is formed. The only thing that separates those who rise again from those who stay down is the decision to keep going. No matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you face rejection or failure, you are always one decision away from changing your story. The past does not define you. The setback does not define you. What defines you is what you do next, how you rise, how you turn the setback into the beginning of your greatest comeback. Kill your weak feelings and you become unstoppable. Weak feelings are the invisible barriers that keep people from reaching their full potential. They disguise themselves as comfort, as hesitation, as excuses. They tell you that you are not ready, that you should wait for the right time, that maybe you are not meant for more. These feelings are deceptive because they feel natural, even reasonable. Fear, doubt, insecurity, laziness. These emotions creep in slowly, making a home in your mind until they become a part of you. And if you do not actively fight them, they will control your life. Weak feelings show up in different ways. Sometimes it is fear whispering that failure is too risky, so you should not even try. Other times it is self-doubt making you question your worth, convincing you that you are not good enough. It can be procrastination, tricking you into believing you have all the time in the world when in reality, every second wasted is a second you will never get back. Weak feelings love comfort zones. They want you to stay where you are, to avoid discomfort, to settle for what is easy rather than fighting for what is great. But the truth is, nothing extraordinary happens in comfort. Every great success, every transformation, every breakthrough comes from pushing past weak feelings. It comes from ignoring fear and taking action anyway. It comes from shutting down self-doubt and believing in your potential even when no one else does. It comes from pushing through exhaustion, through frustration, through moments of wanting to quit. Weak feelings will always be there, waiting for a moment of weakness to creep in, but they do not have to control you. Killing weak feelings is not about pretending they do not exist. It is about refusing to let them dictate your actions. It is about recognizing when fear, doubt, or laziness is trying to take over and choosing discipline over emotion. People who succeed in life are not the ones who never feel fear or doubt. They are the ones who act despite those feelings. They train themselves to push forward even when motivation fades, even when the path is uncertain, even when failure seems possible. They understand that emotions are temporary, but results come from consistency and action. Every time you give in to weak feelings, you strengthen them. Every time you let fear stop you, fear grows stronger. Every time you delay action because of doubt, doubt gains more power. But the opposite is also true. Every time you act despite fear, you weaken it. Every time you push through doubt, you take control. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build resilience. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who never feel weak. They are the ones who refuse to let weakness win. The moment you decide that your dreams, your goals, and your growth matter more than temporary emotions, you become unstoppable.